Think we're going good. We're here on Zoom. This is podcast. This meeting is being live streamed. Cool. What's up, everybody? I'm Yogi Chris, captain of IMC Nation and founder of Ninth Limb Yoga, streaming to you from IMC headquarters here in Las Vegas. We recently moved across town to this new base. It was base 3. Now it's become base headquarters. The other base is now. Anyway, long story short, we have 5 bases here in Las Vegas currently, 2 other bases in other cities that are about to move here. 26 guys living in Las Vegas right now. That's the core inner group of IMC Nation. Plus, there's other high-level and ranked members around the world, but most of them have consolidated here. Ultimately, there'll be about 35 to 40 high-ranking guys in IMC Nation living in Las Vegas, running the operations. We got fingers in every industry, every business, and it's like Fight Club. We wash your dishes, we clean your floors, we drive you around. We're everywhere, IMC Nation. And, and then there's hundreds of members around the country, in Kolkata, in Sydney, in Prague, in London. They're everywhere. And hundreds of thousands of members, followers, subscribers, whatever you want to call it, on all the platforms, YouTubes and TikToks and Instagrams or whatever. And it's growing as we put out the clips and now the HD clips. And that's also a whole staff endeavor where the people are consolidating their efforts, coordinating, and attacking the world. Here comes AZD, and I'm just gonna dim a little bit as he brings his girl in. And that's just the etiquette. So one of the things that is so important about what we're doing here is the game and the psychology of women and psychology of men and social dynamics and how to get your way, really, get what you're seeking, to influence, to have a fulfilled life. The quality of your relationships is going to be such a bearing on quality of your experience internally. And, there's there's a depth of camaraderie, a depth of alignment, a depth of understanding that comes with the skill of communication and understanding psychology, the real psychology, both men, women, survival, ambition, focus, imagination. These things, they're not just like boring subjects or dry subjects. Like there's the science of the imagination. There's all the alchemy of mindset and changing your self-image and how you view the world, changing your perspective, seeing it from different angles. That's what AZD is teaching with game. It's just lots of different perspectives and frames of mind, which are perspectives. And then we're masterminding those perspectives. There's lots of guys are giving their feedback and their input and their current situations and asking questions. We see where they're coming from. And the guys that have been in it a while start to see that other guys have outdated mindsets. Like they used to have that mindset, but they've evolved past it. They hear that other guy talking about his mindset or his situation with women or whatever. And some of the older guys are like, man, I grew through that. I know that. I've heard AZD give advice to 10 different guys on that since I've been around, including myself 10 years ago. And it's like you start to see there's a progression and evolution that each individual will go through depending on how far they go. But there's an evolution that each person is on, and there's a lot of common elements of this evolution amongst people. And those, a lot of times, are going to be steps on the AZD process. That's why it's a process. The world will keep pulling you back into their way of being and relating and their laziness and their vague and inaccurate communication, their emotional demeanor. For example, we don't live with our girlfriends. We don't live with our relationships. Ultimately, everybody thinks, don't live with your parents. Some people might say otherwise. It's fine as a step on the process. Definitely, I would rather live with my parents than with a woman. And of course, all things being equal, like if it's the same kind of living situation with both circumstances, I'd probably rather live with my parents. But ultimately, you don't want to live with your parents. You don't want to live with the woman. Ultimately, you want to live with the other brothers that are in your movement, that you work with, that you game with, that you can talk about this stuff with. Because that's such a hindrance to guys out there that can't even speak freely about game, about relationships. I'm doing it publicly on a podcast right now. This gets posted on Apple and Spotify. This gets posted on Instagram. In fact, I can even go live on my personal Instagram. I'm live on my professional Instagram right now, but I'll just add another live. I'm on TikTok, I'm everywhere. Let's do it. So we'll just show you guys. I don't do it on my main TikTok or Instagram because my relationships are also watching. So a lot of times I'll shower admiration towards my teacher, or towards the movement, or towards other guys. And that's fine. Like, so I'll bring that in and then calibrate. So it's just, if you have a different audience, I mean, it's already going to be posted on the Spotify or wherever it is, Apple, all the places. So everybody can see it. It's transparent. It's not like hidden from my parents. They could even watch. My dad, I know, has watched videos that I've put out where I'm just like, fuck feminism or whatever. I have YouTube videos and stuff on that. It's not necessarily right because you'll get censored and deleted and it just makes your business more difficult. But in the beginning, it's like, I got to get the voice. I got to get my voice out, get my opinions out about this stuff. Even if I'm mimicking someone else's opinion, or I read it in a book, or I saw it, like just articulating, using your nerves, your voice, your body to express this truth that, you know, goes under other headings like MGTOW, men go their own way, or the pickup artist, or red pill, or whatever it is, that there are guys out there saying something like it, something similar, but they have a different demeanor, because the demeanor of the guy who gets girls is different than the demeanor of the guy who doesn't. So the guy who doesn't get girls, he says, you know, women, they become more promiscuous when they're ovulating, and they'll show more skin and their lips get red. And that's why they wear makeup, and, you know, they'll wear red, and they'll put themselves around men because they're ovulating. And the guy that doesn't get any girls will say that, and it'll sound like he's hating on women. And then the guy who does get girls will say that, like I just said it, and it won't register as I'm hating women. It'll register as fascinating. Wow. Really? Be like, yeah, did you know that when a woman's ovulating, she can smell on the body odor of men whether that man has a symmetric body or not? That when she's not ovulating, she can't tell. But when she's ovulating, give her the sweaty t-shirts of different men who have worked out, and she'll be more attracted to the odor of a symmetric man. As if, how could her nose know that that man was symmetric? It's genetic. It's genetic. It's been proven with tests and sample sizes, and, you know, there needs to be a certain degree of certainty to be able to statistically say that this is a truth or not. That's a trip. Men have that too. So the evolutionary psychology is fascinating, but from a guy, if it's coming from a guy that doesn't get women, it sounds like insecurity or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it sounds like. It could probably sound a bunch of different ways. The way I used to sound was probably obviously nerdy. I still sound nerdy, but because I'm a nerd, whatever. But it would sound like, you know, when someone's trying to convince you of something, it would sound like I'm trying to convince a girl that you should behave, or you should change your behavior because I know your secrets. You can't hide from me. I think that's what it probably came across as suspicious. I probably sounded suspicious. Like women are trying to manipulate me. Later, I realized so much. I mean, sometimes they are, but they are whether or not they're ovulating or not. Women are just manipulative. That's how they get ahead in interactions, because they don't have the strength to threaten force. And honestly, they don't have the intelligence to just like win you over with a debate. They think they do because they think they're winning debates. They're not. They're just being manipulative, angry. Guys are afraid of an angry woman because society is set up with a bunch of white knights that will come to her defense with guns and shields, and that's called the SWAT team. If she says the right things, she could get. But as a guy, get a SWAT team called on a girl. What would you need to say to get a SWAT team called on a girl, or even just fucking cop cars called on her? Man. So that's how one-sided the society is. It's actually a very matriarchal society, even though in our bones, in our genes, in our cells, we are a patriarchal species. But the culture has come in, the fucking cult of Saturn or whatever, to control society, and they know they're going to control society by controlling men. But they'll only control men by controlling women, because men are slaves to their senses and their lust and their ignorance. Oh, that's also, they'll keep guys ignorant so that they can be slaves. Because if you teach guys red pill everything, not just red pill this or red pill that, not just red pill women or red pill government or red pill, it's got to be red pill everything. Red pill aliens, red pill magic, red pill the government, red pill the secret space program, red pill women and psychology, red pill Hollyweird, red pill the Illuminati. You got to red pill everything to do this game, because we just don't live in that same reality. We're in the same 3D space. It would be like people staying in the same room, but they're watching different movies. That's a really good analogy, actually. Let's say we're all sitting in a room and we're watching our mobile devices, our smartphones or tablets, whatever, and we're watching a movie. and I'm watching a real inspiring movie of that's magical, but it's also teaching me life lessons, and it's so aesthetic, it's beautiful, and there's romance and love, and I'm learning, and it's great. And someone else is watching, I don't know, Cops or something, and they're just distracted by a bunch of white trash and crooked cop, or who knows what they might be watching the Cooking Network that's just filled with all kinds of commercials. That's literally people's minds. Their minds are their televisions. People are living in a communal or a common kind of narrative that education society's given them, and people are very similar like that. We're all similar in how the mechanisms of our mind works. It's physics, but so many people, they're sheep, and they're sheep because they're in their minds. There's a lot of guys that are stronger than me, bigger than me, tougher than me. I don't know about, I mean, there are a lot of guys tougher than me, but I'm tough. There's guys better fighters, make more money, but they're still slaves to their minds because they're just, I am too, but I'm getting more and more free. And that's what the red pill does. It frees you from you're living a habitual life that it's not really yours because it's a habit that someone's given you. You're on a record just going around doing the same patterns. You are living in there, but you're only living at 0.001% of exuberance. You're not really there. That's what this lifestyle does. So start by not living with your girlfriend, actually, because if you live with your girlfriend, then her moon cycles and everything are going to completely distort your sense of self. Her chaos, her craziness, her insecurities, she's a slave too. And she's been abused in different ways than how men have been abused. Men have been hella abused also. It's abusive to a man to make him sit down as an adolescent and listen at school and not be out playing in the dirt. He wants to be outside. He wants to be competing. He wants to be aggressive. Most men. Let all the little fag boys stay in school and fucking stay, learning facts. Teach him some math. Teach him some how to read, and teach him how to get along with people, which is just really mentoring kids as they interact. And then let him explore. The education system is for women so that they can get fucking jobs because they can't do jack shit else besides raise a baby unless you educate them. But a man will educate himself. Everybody's got to get educated. But a man, teach him reading, writing, math, and then let him follow his passion. You can do that with a woman too, but her passion is going to be tea parties and fashion and dolls. And his passions are going to be war and conquest and making money, taking care of people. If nobody's wounded. A lot of girls think they got to take care of the whole world, but that's because they're just acting out trauma. It's not a woman's purpose to leave her life and not have a great relationship with a man so that she can go take care of third world country. That's not a woman's purpose. That's a traumatized person. Even if she becomes saintly, she hasn't addressed something. That's fine. She could do that. I mean, shit. Who am I? She's an adult. But she's still a slave to the matrix. She's in the matrix of her mind. And the process here, don't live with your woman. Have a wake-up time. Determine your wake-up time the day before. So you're not determining your wake-up time as you're trying to wake up. That's not a wake-up time. That right there is going to be a barrier that they won't be able to step out of the matrix. So much of the matrix and Saturn's enslavement of the entire planet has to do with when you're asleep, right? When you're asleep, your dreams, capturing your energy, harvesting your energy. Yeah. Why would people be so slothy when they wake up? Why can't they just wake up?
Too many thoughts, too many things unplanned.
Unplanned things, thoughts. Have you ever noticed if you're thinking about a thought repeatedly, like, first of all, have you noticed that you've done that and just chewed on it, maybe even for days, maybe longer?
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that there is some entity feeding off of your thought energy while you feed that thought? That's what I mean. If a person can't wake up because they're filled with thoughts and chaos and whatever, who's feeding on that? And the whole planet is like that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, that's what I believe. You don't have to believe that. But it's useful. It's useful to unplugging you. If you thought or knew, if you believed that your lazy thoughts was some entity, deity, demon, angel of laziness that was feeding on your laziness, it was eating your energy just the same way I ate a cheeseburger or something. that the energy of hatred, there was a hate entity that was feeding on you. You were the battery, just like the Matrix. You're the battery that's the conductor. You're conducting the energy of hate. And the entity is feeding off of you as a battery because you have a lifespan like a battery. And you're using your precious moments to indulge in that feeling or those thought patterns versus being free to create your thought patterns. And you free your mind to create when you're out of the trauma, when you're out of the drama, the emotions, when you're out of the habits and you're thinking for yourself. That's a popular thing for people to say, think for yourself. But then, man, why are you living with the woman? Woman, why are you chasing a career? Are you thinking for yourself, or is that a habit, a pattern given to you by somebody else? Because I just don't believe it was a woman's ambition growing up as an unjaded little girl that she wanted to be a hustler and work in the workforce. I think that's some abuse. In the same way that the man should not be sat down and made to learn public school from a aggressive older woman that's yelling at him, which is most boys' experience. I don't think a woman should be taught and indoctrinated to hustle her whole life unless it's hustle to get the right man. Because once you get the right man, then there's no amount of work that will ever wear you down as a woman. If you're with the right man, you'll have endless work. You'll have endless energy for what you need to do in life. Just like when a man finds God or his higher purpose, then no amount of work is too much. You could say, well, what if the woman finds God or higher purpose or whatever? I think that the vehicle, the masculine human vehicle, the man, is a better conduit for her to God than herself. That's why she is programmed genetically to seek a man. Because the man is less emotional. Your emotions will skew your perception of truth. And if there's anything that's God, it would be truth. Man, this let me close out of a Telegram. This guy's messaging me. Quit. Okay. So, this process, how to get good at game. Jesus. I titled this How to Get Good at Game. And I mean, what I've been saying is relevant to that, but I know that people that are attracted to this episode because that's what the title says, there's no way they've listened to this point where I'm going to start talking the literal aspects of game. It comes down to what I was telling Josh, who's one of the residents. We have 3 residents here right now, Zothes, Josh, and Angel. We normally only have a maximum of 2, but somehow scheduling errors, so we have 3 now. So a bunch of people, because they share a kitchen, share the bathroom, like, you know what I mean? So Josh is asking how to get good at game, and I got to ask questions to give you, I'm not even saying it's the correct answer, but to give you what I would sincerely think is the answer, I got to know where you're going. What are you going for when you say get good at game before I can give you advice? So if to get good at game is be able to attract the most beautiful women anywhere you go, then is there anybody that you have as an example for that? Or is that just a fantasy that you have? Oh, there's a guy with that example, AZD. Okay, yeah, where we go, the most beautiful women, even if they don't approach him and drop to their knees, you can tell through their body language and their cues and whatever that over time, the longer we're in the venue, the finest women will become more attracted to him. And sometimes it takes multiple visits to a venue. Maybe the girl doesn't notice him. A lot of times, and this is where new guys, they lack patience. And even experienced guys in the pickup world, they don't have this as a reference because they lack patience. They're looking for same-night sex or some dumb shit like that. If you repeatedly go to the same venues, a lot of times the finest women, it'll be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 visits before they really come around in your proximity. Meanwhile, you've been attracting the lesser woman and then the better woman and then the better woman and the better woman. And it's all leapfrogging, laddering up to the highest value. It's the same way with men too. You often won't directly talk with a celebrity. But if you win over the staff, then they introduce you to one of his entourage. Then you win over his entourage and he introduces you to the celebrity. And it takes winning over the venue. It's a social dynamic. It's not just one-on-one. And that's what celebrity game is. That's what this is. So how to get good at that. If that's the level of game, yeah, it's going to take, don't live with a woman. These are basics. It's going to take, be a man of your word. If you say that you're going to do 10 job interviews, do 10 job interviews. If you say that you're going to wake up at 9 a.m., then wake up before 9 a.m. It's those things. That's integrity. Be a person of integrity. Even women, if women were going to be, on this path, then I would also say, don't live with your man. Be a woman of integrity when you say you're going to do something. That's harder. I think that's harder for a woman. Integrity would be probably in how you conduct yourself with your man. And if you don't have a man, then it would be definitely it would be integrity with your lifestyle, making yourself beautiful, elegant, presentable to get a man. And if you're too old or you're too far gone that you can't get a man, then you start to take that on as a role model, that you still got to be a role model for younger people. What is this? You can't live in that USA and have integrity. That's impossible. Well, then I just proved you wrong. I just proved you wrong. Like, if you're going to say that, then I just proved you wrong. So, I mean, what are you saying? I mean, you're welcome to come live and talk to me about it, but it's a weird thing to say to me. I'm obviously in America and I live with integrity, so I just proved that wrong. Okay. No, dreamer. Okay. What was I saying? So, as a man, getting good at game starts with don't live with your woman. Be a man of integrity. If you say you're going to do something, then do it. Like I'm saying, you could even live with your parents, but if you're a man of integrity, eventually you're not going to be living with your parents. But if you're living with your woman, it's just putting a ceiling on what you're going to be able to do in game. And then, to get this game, I mean, I could say join the online classes, and yeah, that'll improve your game. That kind of goes hand in hand. At some point, you'll plateau. What's needed is to move to Vegas, because AZD is in Vegas and IMC Nation is in Vegas. So just like Caesar Milan has the wolf pack, and you introduce a lone wolf into the wolf pack or lone dog into the dog pack, they immediately align with how to do things. Immediately. That's what it's going to be like as you guys out there, lone wolves. I know you're lone wolf. Like, you don't have wing guys. You'd be very fortunate if you even have a friend. And you'll soon find out how weak of your friendship is when you start learning game. When you take control of the fact that, hey, I want to get good at game. I want to go wherever I go, and I know women are going to be attracted to me. Wherever I go, I'm not going to violate, which means I'm not going to make all the men my enemies and make it difficult for that woman to get with me. I'm going to win over everybody without losing my integrity or compromising my ethics, because I know social dynamics. I know how to be and be authentically me in a way that people start to turn and face me and want to interact with me and do business with me and be with me. That's game. So the best way to learn that is come and join the pack. Now, you could maybe just visit and do residency, but that's going to get real expensive after a while. But, in the beginning, that's what you got to do. Come and visit, do residency, live with us, figure out how we live on a schedule, which is, that was actually before. Okay, so move out from your girls. Then I would say combined with that is live the AZD process. That's a wake-up time. That's a physicality every day where you break a sweat or you're huffing and puffing, your heart's racing, something like that. To study every day philosophy, to separate the times when you study from the times or the times when you study / rejuvenate from the times when you're in service with the world. 2 different times. There's the lockdown, which is in the morning and then late in the evening before sleep. And then there's the time of service. And don't mix them if you want to be on this process. You can read a little bit during the day, take your meditation, whatever, but you're not in lockdown unless you absolutely have to. Just like Josh was saying, like, can I change my wake up? Yeah, the day before, just tell everybody, hey, tomorrow I'm waking up at 2 p.m. Just so you guys know, 2 p.m. That's still the process. That's the process, dude. Good luck. But you made a wake up. Make sure you wake up and do your meditation, cold shower, and whatever. And there's probably other elements to the process. Those are the main thing. Be very conscious of what you eat. We're all exploring diet habits, nutrition habits, but you should take it as a religion. What are you eating is a religion, because it's habit, it's beliefs. Do you believe that all food is equal? I mean, that's a belief. That's like communism. You're not going to get the same results as somebody who knows grass-fed meat is better, raw dairy is better, whatever, organic is better. That's a religion too, but that doesn't mean it's not better. It's better. Buddhism is better than fucking, who knows, whatever other superstitious shit that doesn't work sometimes. Sometimes it does. And then it's not superstition. It's just a very primitive understanding of science. Boom. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. Zothi's a sorcerer here. I keep running my sorcery by him. Okay. So to get good at game, because we got new guys joining, and, I know some of these guys are on the program, like Not Your Speculator, Liam, Woodland. These guys are on the program. So let's just get clear about the process. No homo. I was trying to put the white heart right on. It's fine. Yeah. Probably don't even use hearts, bro. Since you're on the program, I'll tell you. You don't have to use hearts with a guy. Use something else. Use your beast or something. Yo, Liam from England, I believe. Or I believe it's London, right? We got other England guys, so make sure you connect with those guys. Worldwide, no reason why we shouldn't have a base in London, or you guys should move to Vegas. But I would go one of those two routes. Ultimately, both. You should get rich enough that you have a place in Vegas and a place in London, and you spend half the year or half the month both places. That's, I mean, what I would do. Or move to Vegas. So move out from your girls. The process, the beast routine, phase 1 routine, AZD process, whatever you want to call it. All those things I just described. Then be a man of your word and integrity. Follow through, because then you'll be able to go step after step after step and climb out of your shit, you know, if you're a man of your word. Then moving to Vegas / studying the stuff, studying the online programs, all the products being put out. We have a party this weekend. There's a lot of infield with that, you know, but there's just so much that you're going to get compared to if you come here. Like listening to the recording of Roundtable is different than being at the Roundtable. That'll change, man, that'll change your presence and your ability to communicate so much. It's invaluable. Honestly, we could charge 10,000 for the recording. Somebody might buy it, but you could pay so much attention to it. Like being there is going to change you. That's the value of residency. So it's expensive, but man, is it so valuable. Oh man, you'll change your life. Just that exercise, let alone going out, how we maneuver as a pack, in and out of clubs, in and out of venues, how we live, we maneuver around each other, our wake up times, our coordination of the shower, whatever. You learn how to move as a unit. That's what guys are trying to do when they live with girls, is they try to like be a team. But she's not going to be able to do that with you, dude. She doesn't have the same ethics. She's got way too many emotions. And you're not going to be able to educate her up in the same way you do, that you've done for yourself. She doesn't have that ambition, and she's got a lot of other things that she's got to take care of. You don't have to take care of your beauty and aesthetic the same way she does. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to take care of your fucking hygiene the same way that she does. She's got a lot of responsibilities that you don't have. That's why you got other responsibilities of men that men have. And that's what makes it work. But you got to step out of your matrix to do that. Do it good to play games. I don't know if that is a typo. Is it good to play games? Well, I'm going to answer that. And I hope you stay on to hear my answer for it. And everybody pay attention, because this is important. Okay. Especially for you, Liam, because I know that you get into these kind of debates with girls and whatever. Okay. Playing games. Let's just quickly see what's the attendance looking like. It's pretty good attendance. Not bad. Okay. Because I'm streaming on YouTube also. Is it good to play games? I think what you're meaning is games between men and women, like dating games, you know, play games with each other. I don't think that you're speaking accurately right now, because here's why. I think it's very good to play games. And here's why. Because I believe life is a game. And if you're not playing it like a game, then it's too serious. Not that you shouldn't play seriously, but if it loses its fun, you start becoming more contracted inside. You stop seeing possibilities. And part of the fun is exploring possibilities and potential realities, potentialities. That's interesting how potential realities, if you say it really fast, it becomes potentialities, which is actually a word. So yes, I think it's good to play games. It should be a game. But what I think you're saying is it good to lie? Is it good to be inconsiderate of people's emotions, of women's emotions? Is it good to so those things, obviously, I would say no. I don't think it's appropriate to be inconsiderate of people's emotions. That doesn't mean that you don't say things that she's going to get her feelings hurt. It's just consider what you're saying. Don't be so chaos and inconsiderate about girls' feelings. And there was something else I was going to say. Play life like a game, not too seriously. Lie, obviously, that's not good. And here's the big thing. I don't think it's okay to commit your life, your time, your seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, years, whatever, to commit your time to frivolous action. Frivolous. It means like inconsequential, or it doesn't matter in the end. So if you're caught up playing games, as you say, with a woman, and it's not contributing to your evolution as a communicator, as a businessman, as a brother, as a wingman, as whatever, if you're taking time away from your life to take a vacation from your purpose to go and play games with a woman, whether that's just over text or you're going on a date or a vacation, you're playing games, then you have an unintegrated life and you don't love yourself enough because you're wasting your time on something that's frivolous. So make sure that the game you're playing suits your purpose, and then live a life of integrity. And then I think it's perfectly good to play games. You should play games. If you're not playing games, then what are you doing? Honestly, I probably could have said everything I just said with, if you're not playing games, what else would you be doing? What's the alternative? Okay, AZD is about to walk his girl out. I'm about to end this stream, guys. Thanks for the advice. I'm super busy on Thursday. I'll try to hop on. My dad has one day off. Lectures are powerful, though. Live. Yes. Yes, they are. Okay, everybody. See, is there any chat over here? No, just hundreds. Okay, thank you, everybody. This is Enlightened Masculinity. Leave your reviews on the recordings if you're catching this on Apple, Spotify, whatever. Share this stream if it was useful for you. You liked it. Thanks for all the love, the comments. We got over 800 likes on AZD IMC Instagram or TikTok. Sorry. So I'm Yogi Chris, captain of IMC Nation, one of 3 captains here at IMC Base headquarters in Las Vegas. I live with AZD, and that's why I'm the messenger of this stuff. Or maybe it's vice versa. I'm a messenger of this stuff, and that's why I live with AZD. That's probably more accurate. And I'll see you guys on the next stream whenever I do it. Always Thursdays, but other times also. Oh, Jay Guru Dev, praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord, that reminds me of Kenneth Copeland.
Coming again?